Although we can't master poses by watching a 5-minute video, we can learn in 5 minutes what to practice, so in 5 days or 5 weeks we will see remarkable, significant improvement toward mastery. Always take a minute at the start of each yoga session, no matter how short, to get present and focused and just clear your mind and let go of your day. I like to step my heels off the back of the yoga mat to remind myself to lift my toes and take my center back a bit into a more restful stance than my usual racing forward personality. Pay attention to spreading all of your 10 toes apart and pressing them into the mat. Bring your hands to prayer pose in front of your heart and exhale all the air in your lungs to let go of anything you may be holding on to. Bend from your hips with a straight back and set your personal intention for your session. Reach to your inner self to find a quiet place and choose what you want to create from being on the mat. It can be an emotional, spiritual, or physical focus, or all three. But use this first moment to bow to your own self and to create it. Now come gently down to all fours and feel the stretching begin as you actively engage in child's pose with your fingers and your elbows pressed into the mat and your head reaching away from your tailbone. Reach each hand toward the opposite elbow and touch the fingertips to the elbow tip to determine the position for beginning your headstand. Some people like to interlace their fingers. I prefer to place the back of one hand against the front of the other with both facing toward my knees. That makes a very nice cup to hold the point of my head as the crown of my head rests on the mat. Straighten your knees and begin to walk your toes forward and engage your forearms to balance your weight. There should be so little weight on your legs that you can go all the way up to your tiptoes effortlessly. Stretch down and up repeatedly with straight legs. At home in your own practice, do this many more times than you now see me doing on this short video. Next, bend your right leg with your foot toward the ceiling, pressing up and down while paying attention to the position of your hips and your steady, deep breathing. And now bend and lift your left leg. The goal is to focus on the up direction of the toes on the mat, not raising the knee high. It is important that the hips stay at the same level. Without changing your arm or head position, come down onto your knees and rest and rebalance in child's pose. This is a perfect time to smell your doTERRA essential oils. You can see I open them before the session and have the caps in a central spot for easiest access. Once again, prepare for headstand setup by touching your fingertips to your elbow tips, and then align your 2 hands facing your knees with fingertips at opposite wrists, and set your head in the cup of your hand. Press into your toes and walk them forward to align your hips on top of your shoulders. The stability is in your arms with little or no weight on your toes. Bend your right knee and keep it next to your left knee with a foot toward the ceiling and bounce a few inches off your left toes a few times. Now change sides and bend your left knee with a foot in the air and bounce a few times off your right toes up and down to find your point of balance. Pay attention to lifting your pelvic floor, tightening the space where your legs meet as you use core strength to lift both feet off the floor. In line with your tailbone, keeping your knees close to your ribs. Come down and rest and focus on your breathing and repeat this as many times for as many days as you need to until you're ready for the next step. Keep breathing deeply through your nose into the back of your throat. Little weight is on your head and no strain is on the neck. The body's weight is balanced between the sides of the hands, the elbows, and the forearms. The next level to master is having your bent knees floating at the height of your tailbone and your feet upward toward the ceiling. Work on this level for as many sessions as needed or until you're comfortable to slowly straighten your legs and align your feet over your hips and shoulders. And eventually you'll feel ready to do some variations with your legs, like opening your feet out to the sides, keeping the pressure off your back and your pelvic floor lifted with your strength coming from your core. Continue standing on your head with bent leg scissors, flexing your feet away from you, pushing your heels away from your hips, and then pointing your toes. Bring both feet back together and lower your legs in a pike position, focusing on your breathing and lifting your pelvic floor. Do any other variations that you want and continue this as long as you want, and then bring your feet together and slowly bend your knees with full control, pulling your thighs toward your ribs as your feet and then your knees touch the mat. Rest as long as you want in a modified child's pose or whatever is comfortable for you. And then when you're ready to close your session, bring your hands into prayer pose, bow down to honor yourself, and give gratitude for the wonderful things in your life. Thank you for joining me, and make it a wonderful day.